Hi Scorpios, how is life? In this video, I'm going to talk about the transits for the month of June. Can you believe that it's like already the middle of the year? So, on the very first day of June, we have Jupiter conjunct North Node on the 3rd degree of Taurus, meaning this conjunction is happening in your house of relationships. Your house of relationships has been pretty active for the past year and a half because of the eclipses. And I know so many Scorpios that got married in the past year and a half. Yeah, so it's been good for you guys. And another good thing is Jupiter recently entered Taurus, so it's gonna be in your house of relationships until next May. Yeah, you guys are lucky in relationships like until then. What else? So even though this conjunction is really good, it doesn't happen often. I don't know how often it happens in Taurus, but yeah, it's not something that happens every year basically. Try to think like what happened, like something positive in your relationships recently, like because this Jupiter North Node conjunction is definitely like active. I myself can feel the influence of this. Yeah, so for you guys, it's in terms of relationships. Even if you don't notice what it is right now, maybe in hindsight, when you look back, you'll be like, oh, okay, so that was an important meeting. Or like, I met that person, like I met my special one back then and I didn't know that. Yeah, so it can be something like that. So even though this conjunction is good, it is receiving two tense aspects from Pluto and Mars, and they are in your house of career, home life, and they are aspecting your partnership in the 7th house. So I don't know your situation, guys. So it can be something work and home related, and your partner is like yeah, triggered by those yeah, or your work and home life are pressuring your partner. Yeah, the interpretations can be various. Yeah, so now on June 3rd and or June 4th, depending on where you live, we have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 13th degree. Sagittarius for you is your second house, so you have this full moon in your second house, and I don't know, something financial, maybe your money, your investment, something. And full moons are not like lunar eclipses. They're not life changing, when there are like major culminations, major endings. Yeah, it's not like that. So this is something minor. Maybe you will, if you applied for something, you will get it around this full moon, or if you worked on some small project, you're gonna complete it around this full moon. Yeah, so you get it. It's like the house of finances, culmination, minor culmination. And so this full moon is opposed by the sun in your 8th house. So 8th house is your partner's money. Your partner's money, your money, yeah. And they are making a tense aspect to Saturn in Pisces in your 5th house. So try to think about this. Your money, your partner's money, and your house of hobbies, children, leisure, enjoying life, that's all 5th house matter. So maybe, I don't know, if you guys have children, you'll spend money on your children with your partner. Or maybe if you, I don't know, spend on something that you like. You spend money on something that you like around this full moon. And, this aspect is not something that lasts for a long time. It's gonna last for maximum 2 weeks, and the peak influence is gonna be like around this full moon itself, like 4 days plus or minus. Okay. Now on June 4th, we have Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus at 20 degrees. Again, your 7th house stuff. But the thing is, Mercury is a fast-moving planet, and so this conjunction is active basically for only a day. Yeah, and you're probably not even gonna notice this transit. Yeah, so since it's in your 7th house, you might feel like you might get sudden realizations, sudden ideas. Yeah. Okay, so on June 6th, we have Venus entering Leo. Okay, Leo is your 10th house, your public standing, your status in the world. It's your career, it's your life's purpose, I guess. Yeah, well, your work is your life's purpose a lot of times. Yeah, okay, so basically social status. So Venus, it's the planet of beauty, softness, all things sweet. Yeah, so Venus's presence in the 10th house is good. Um, and it is in there for an extended stay. It's going to be in your 10th house for, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 months, because it's going to go retrograde in July and August. Yeah, and after the retrograde, it's going to take time to recover from the retrograde in the shadow zone and stuff. And so it's eventually going to leave the sign of Leo sometime in September or October. Yeah. Okay, so when Venus enters Leo, it is going to unintentionally, accidentally activate that T-square that I was talking about that involves Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto. So this T-square started back in May, and now it's getting weak because Mars is moving further away, but Venus is going to enter the early degrees of Leo again, so it's going to activate. But since Venus is the planet of peacemaking, resolutions, mediation, so hopefully it will bring some sort of, I don't know, resolution to the problem that was created by this T-square. Yeah, hopefully. So Venus is going to join Mars in your 10th house. Yeah, you've had Mars for a couple of weeks in your 10th house now, but Venus is going to join. Those cosmic lovers are going to get pretty close, but they're not going to be conjunct because Venus is going to start slowing down for the retrograde. Yeah, and Mars will get further and further away. Yeah, but it's nice to have them in your house of status, house of career. Yeah. So those matters are gonna be like lit up for you, slightly lit up. Yeah, in the month of June and July. Yeah. So next, on June 12th, we have Mercury entering Gemini. Yeah. So Mercury, Gemini, that's your 8th house. But this month Mercury is super quick. It is at its maximum speed because it finished retrograding. So it retrograded from April 20th until May 15th, and after that it was recovering for the rest of May. And so now in June, it's good. So if you need to sign contracts, go ahead and do it, because you can be sure that the terms of the contract are not going to change somewhere along the way. And then it's okay to buy electronics this month, because you can be sure that they're not gonna malfunction. You won't have to return them. Yeah. So that is Mercury in Gemini. Because 8th house is Scorpio house, so maybe your thoughts are gonna be about like more the mysterious side of life. I mean, as a Scorpios, you guys are mysterious all the time, but this Mercury is gonna add maybe I don't know, maybe you guys will think about it more than usual. On the same day, Pluto re-enters Capricorn. So Pluto is your ruling planet. It's gonna re-enter Capricorn because of the retrograde. But Pluto is far away from Earth. You guys are barely gonna feel it unless you have planets around the late degrees of Capricorn. So maybe you have your moon in the late degrees of Capricorn, like maybe 28th, 29th degree. Then yes, you are definitely going to feel it. Or let's say maybe you have, your rising sign in the late degrees of Taurus. Then yeah, you're definitely going to feel it. Or if you have placements in Cancer, because they're going to, in the late degrees of Cancer, because they're going to receive this opposition from Pluto. Yeah, so, but others, those who don't have planets around those degrees, you guys should be fine. Yeah. What else? June 18th, we have a new moon in Gemini on the 26th degree. So it's going to be in your 8th house. Okay? So if somebody owes you money, they might pay back. Or, yeah, money matters. Yeah, but again, as I said earlier, this is not an eclipse. This is not a solar eclipse, so it's not gonna be like some major new beginning, major change, life-changing transformation. No, it's something minor. It's like basically a new page, a new month, new energy. Yeah, so it's gonna bring some minor news. Yeah. So if you are expecting some news, it might arrive around this new moon, especially after this new moon. Or if you are thinking of starting something new, a new project, a new business, do so after June 18th, because you want new moon energy in the DNA of your project or business, whatever. Okay? Um, and now, on June 18th, on the same day as the new moon, Saturn turns retrograde. Yeah, Saturn is in your fifth house. It's in Pisces. It has been there since March. Yeah. So fifth house. I don't know. Maybe getting serious about like dating. Those of you who are single, because Saturn brings seriousness. Yeah. For those who are married and have kids, this might be about like becoming more responsible about your kids. I don't know, maybe your hobbies, becoming more serious about your hobbies. Yeah. And so it's going to turn retrograde until October. So yeah, you will be evaluating those things, like how you have fun, how you and also I just remembered that Saturn, because fifth house is a house of fun. Saturn can bring too much seriousness. You will feel like you are not having fun. You're like, I don't remember the last time I had fun or something. Saturn can definitely make you feel that way when it's in your fifth house. Yeah, so be patient. It isn't gonna last forever. Yeah, only 2 years and a half. Yeah. But Scorpios are serious people, so maybe you might even like be fine. Yeah. Me, I'm an extrovert, so for me, like I was really depressed when Saturn was in my fifth house. Yeah, but Scorpios, you guys are serious, so maybe you will be just fine. Next, on June 20th, Venus enters shadow zone on the 12th degree of Leo. Yeah, so shadow zone is basically the spot to which Venus will return when it goes retrograde. Yeah, so if you are thinking of doing, what is it? If you are thinking of getting plastic surgery done, do so until June 20th. That way you can be sure that the procedure is going to go well. It's not going to be a botched procedure. You are less likely to regret it. Yeah. So anything beauty related, anything, yeah, aesthetic, yeah, do so before June 20th. Okay. Next, on June 21st, Sun enters Cancer, summer solstice, yay! So, for you, Cancer is your ninth house, okay? Ninth house is a house of travels, so it might be a good time to travel for you guys. The middle of the year, like in July, late June, yeah, those things are favorable. Next, on June 27th, Mercury joins Cancer. Yeah, and they're gonna get super close by the end of the month, and eventually they're gonna be conjunct on the first day of July. So in your ninth house, yeah. So maybe you will go on a trip. Yeah, and obviously not all of you are going to go on a trip, but yes, some of you, if you do decide to go on a trip, it's a favorable time for that. Okay. So that is it for June. As I said, the major theme is that T-square involving Jupiter, Pluto, Mars, and Venus. Yeah. But it's going to fade away by the middle of the month. Other than that, everything else looks good. We have a full moon in the early days of the month. Yeah, June 3rd. And then we have a new moon on June 18th. Yeah, so expect some news around June 18th. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in July. Bye.